Welcome everybody to the National Orientation for Affluentry Network. We're going to get started here at exactly 5 minutes after the hour. In the meantime, make sure that you have a pen and paper handy to take notes. Also, make sure that you get ready to write all of your questions down. At the end of orientation, we will go over questions. And lastly, make sure to contact your supervisor, which is the person that invited you here to today's orientation. Make sure that you contact them immediately following orientation. That way they can get you through registration and training. Okay, very simple stuff. And we're going to get started here in just a few minutes. Thank you for your patience. Please stand by. Welcome, new people. This is the National Orientation for Affluentry Network. We're going to get started here at exactly 5 minutes after the hour. In the meantime, make sure that you have a pen and paper handy to take notes. Also, make sure that you get ready to write all of your questions down. At the end of orientation, we will go over questions. And lastly, make sure to contact your supervisor, which is the person that invited you here to today's orientation. Make sure that you contact them immediately following orientation. That way they can get you through registration and training. Okay, very simple stuff. And we're going to get started here in just a few minutes. Thank you for your patience. Please stand by. we are ready to rock and roll. All right, everybody, welcome to the National Orientation for Affluentry Network, where we help people work from home. My name is Gospel Jackson. I'm going to be your host. I'm also the CEO here at Affluentry Network. I'm out of Los Angeles, California, and I've been doing this work for 3 years now, and it's been great. I get to work from home. I get to manage my own schedule. I make 6 figures a year, and I do what I love. I help people. So it's really great to be here. I'm honored to be in front of you. Now, just to make sure that we're all on the same page, my goal with National Orientation is to give you all of the information that you need so that you can get started working and making money within the next 7 days. Okay, that's the goal. So if you're with me and you see my screen there, everything, you can hear my voice, you can see my picture there, and you're ready to see what it takes to make money in the next 7 days, type I in the chat. Look on your computer screen. You should see a chat box there. Type I in the chat. There you go. You did it. Type I. There you go. Good stuff. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Thank you for all of the eyes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I think we're ready. Let's go ahead and begin. Now, before we get into the nuts and bolts, let me tell you up front, this is not network marketing. This is not multi-level marketing. This is not a pyramid scheme. This is not a scam, nor is this get rich quick. Okay? So I just want to let you know that up front because I know how it is whenever you're looking for an opportunity, whenever you're looking for an income stream or a way to put food on the table. I understand, there's a lot of stuff out there that isn't good for you, but I just want to let you know up front that this is not one of those things. Okay? Now, what is this? This is a work from home opportunity. Very simple, okay? You're going to be working from home for one of the internet's top advertising networks, okay? You're going to be working from home for one of the internet's top advertising networks. So write that down, candidates. We work for the internet's, one more time, top advertising networks. Here are just a few. Instant Rewards, Free Treasure Chest, Our Loot to Boot, ZNZ, Miss Freebie, My Cash Freebies, Get Her Free, and there's actually a couple more networks that we support and we work with, but again, here are just a few. Now, what do these companies do? What do these advertising networks do? They do the marketing and promotions for big-time brands like GoDaddy, Starbucks, My PC Backup, TransUnion, Blockbuster, CreditReport.com, Big Fish Games, Discover Card, Gamefly, Walmart, McDonald's, Disney Books, Netflix, People's Magazine, DirecTV, and the list goes on. Now, before we go any further, I have a question for you. Have you personally heard of any of these companies? And if you have, type I in the chat. If you have heard of any of these companies here, type I in the chat. Thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. You probably have heard of Netflix and Discover Card and Blockbuster. Great. So now that we all agree, we're on the same page, let me tell you what our job is. Okay, our job is very, very simple. All right, what we do is we help these companies get customers. That's it. That's all we do. We help these companies get customers, and this is how we do it. There's 4 steps. It's our Affluentry network system. Just really easy stuff. Here we go. Number 1, this is the job. This is what we're going to do every single day. This is what we do. So we place ads, we take calls, we read a script, and we help the callers take home the products from the advertisers. That's it. So we place ads, we take phone calls, ring, ring, ring. Hey, how can I help you? The phone call comes in, you answer the phone, and you read the script. So if you're not a people person, that's fine. Just read the script, you'll be okay. And then you help the callers take home the products from the advertisers. That's it. And with us working with major brands, we get paid really good money. So we get paid anywhere between $20 to $100 per caller. Okay, there's 3 things that determine your pay rate. Number 1, the caller. Remember, customer always knows best, so there's no difference in this business. The caller knows best, okay? Second thing that determines your pay rate is your education. You see, we have product training credits that are given by the advertising networks, okay? So these are your credits, so you learn the products, all right? So the more education you have, the more money you make because the more valuable you are. Hopefully that makes sense. And then the third thing that determines your pay rate is your customer service skills. You have to be good at following up with people, making sure that any, questions or issues that they may have is taken care of. If you can do that, you're definitely going to be making $100 per caller, okay? Now, we get paid every single day. We do not get paid, bi-weekly or monthly. We get paid daily, okay? And that's by PayPal, that's by direct deposit, and that's also by check. Okay, now, like I've told you before, I've been doing this for 3 years, okay? And am I a billionaire? No, not a billionaire, certainly not through this. And will I be one? I don't know. I hope so one day. But what I will tell you is that I'm young. I do not worry about my bills, right? And I'm making 6 figures a year, and I get to do some fun stuff like go to the Staples Center, pick up salsa dancing. I've been to a couple of Dodgers games and Angels games and all that great stuff. But most of all, because of this job, because of this opportunity, I'm able to take care of my family. So you see there to the left, that's a picture of my mother, right? So there's my mom. She came out to Los Angeles to visit me. We are originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So go Steelers. We bleed that black and gold. But again, mom came out to LA to visit me. And we went down to Orange County to the OC, and we spent the entire week there. And as you can see in the picture, we had a good time, and the scenery is great and all that stuff. So she really, really loved that. But we got to spend that mom and son time bonding, and we don't get to do that all the time, but when we do, it's great. And that's spectacular for me, because family is what really means the most, right? And then to the right, you'll see my younger brother, the tall, strapping gentleman in the middle, right? That's my younger brother. That's his high school graduation. It was like, hey, Gospel, I'm about to graduate. Can you come back home and be here for graduation with me? And I was like, yeah, man, of course. I got on a plane, right? And I flew back to Pittsburgh. I flew coach just like everybody else, right? The seats were actually a little bit tight, but I still made it back home, and I stayed in Pittsburgh for 2 weeks. Now, did I call off work? No. With my mom, I did, because it was mom. But here, this is 2 weeks. I didn't call off work. All I needed was my cell phone, right, and my laptop, and that was it. So while I was home, I spent time with him, stayed home for 2 weeks, and then right as I was leaving, my younger brother went off to the United States Marine Corps, right after high school. So that was special, and I was able to be there with him, which means the most. And now, outside of that, I'm able to supply and support for my family too. If they ever need anything, they just give me a call, and I take care of them. And that's because of our opportunity that we have here with you, with the advertising networks. Now, because of what it's been able to do for myself, for my family, I've been able to help out my best friend and so many other people. We decided to take this national, right? And so this is why you're here today, because you're able to see this opportunity. And so we are the Affluentry Network. We are the largest organization of independent advertisers here in America. Our mission is to improve the communities and the economy by supplying reliable work that people can do from home. You have to understand that if there's more work out there for people to do and pick up and more money for them to make, then there's more money being spent. And with that, the economy goes up, and so do the communities all around you, right? But with the unemployment rate where it's at, and it's not going to get any better, right? We want to be a part of that solution. And so so our vision is to be the very first internet-based company to provide work for 1 million people by 2016. And so since we've started that, here we are today. We're growing rapidly, over 30,000 people working from home with Affluentry Network. Right. And for us, that's a blessing. But for society and for everything that we stand for, it's giving opportunities to people that, hey, when they're out there looking for jobs and they're looking for things they can do to supply for the family, and there's nothing else and they can't find anything, well, guess what? Affluentry Network, you better believe we've got an opportunity for you. Especially, it's backed by the leading advertising networks and the leading brands out there as well. So with that said, I want to show you some of the people that were in your shoes not too long ago and where they are today. I would love to show that to you. So if you're excited and you want to see somebody else that is probably more than likely just like you, and you want to see, hey man, where are they today? Go ahead and type I in the chat. Again, type I in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great, 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 great. Okay, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on over to our web browser. So hang tight. All right, and here we are. So we have affluentrynetwork.com. If you guys need to, go and do some more research, you can always go to that webpage. There's tons of information there. But what I want to do is we're going to head on over to Facebook. Pretty much on Facebook, everybody, within our network, everyone's on Facebook, everybody and their mama. So we're there too. There I am, Gospel Jackson. You can add me and all that stuff too. But what I want to do is I want to show you some other people that started, because they needed an opportunity. They were looking for work. And so they've been with us, and it's been years, and they're doing well. So here's one person here. This lady, magnificent leader. She ran for governor back in 2010 for the state of California. Unfortunately, she didn't win, but she's still strong in politics, has a huge resume. She's here with us here at Affluentry Network. Her name is Shalene Nightingale. Shalene came in. She was looking for work. She had a young one that she had to take care of. And, of course, with our opportunity, she followed the system, and she makes thousands of dollars every single week. And, ever since that time, she's been able to go full time, take care of her family, and work from home. So that's awesome. Shalene Nightingale is now our Director of Business Development. So she is leading the company in new directions. So, our hats go off to Shalene. But again, everybody, this is somebody that started off just looking for work, and look what it evolved to. Okay, a great, promising career for her. Now, another person, Saniqua Conigan. Okay, Saniqua was out of Ohio. Again, she was looking for work too, right? And she ended up firing her boss and all that stuff. And Saniqua was a mom and all that stuff too. So great opportunity. Saniqua was working completely full time with Affluentry Network. So you can look her up and use her as a reference. Another person, this is the cowboy from down south in Tennessee. His name's Jeremy Epperson, and you see in this picture there to the right, that's his beautiful wife, Amanda. Jeremy is a singer. He's a musician, and also he works here at Affluentry Network. Jeremy started off by looking for work, right? I think he was on Craigslist or something like that. Actually, his wife was telling him to go check out Craigslist, and he didn't think he would find anything there. And before you knew it, he's working with Affluentry. He's making full-time income. And now him and his wife are able to pick up extra classes in school and do the music and work all at the same time because of the opportunity. And Jeremy, because of his dedication and his hard work, he is our Director of Customer Service. Okay, so if there's any questions that you ever have, any issues you run down the line, Jeremy's going to be there for you. Okay, another person, Madonna Rogers, this young work-at-home mom. She got started with us. She used to work in call centers and things like that, and she fired her boss as well, and she's working full-time. She is a training specialist here with Affluentry Network. She's also a regional manager. But again, she started off just like everybody else, placing ads, taking calls, reading the script. I'm looking for work. Oh my gosh, I found it. The stuff is great. It works. And here I am. And so Madonna, again, a year later, she's still here working full time, but she's doing even better than when she was when she first came in. Another person, and last person I'm going to share with you guys for now because we have to get through orientation, is Travis Sherman. Travis fired his boss within his first 90 days. Yes, and he had a corporate job with benefits, to be exact, and he has a wife and he has kids. Okay, so whenever you have families involved, families can't risk anything that's not going to work. So again, here's another gentleman out of North Carolina, Travis Sherman. He's one of our training specialists and also regional managers. But again, he fired his boss within his first 90 days. Now, I know you may not be here because you're looking for something full-time or you're not looking for something long-term, and that's okay. But if you are, do know that opportunity is on the table. There's over 30,000 of us working part-time, full-time, and also this is our career for a lot of us, and we're here to help. So again, these are some people that you can research and look up and all that stuff. We're on Facebook. So again, feel free to reach out to anybody. But again, I want to show you some of the people that have been able to have great success because they all, or should I say we all, started in the same shoes like you. right? Needing an opportunity, and thank God this is what we have, okay? So with that said, enough about Affluentry and what it's been able to do for people. Let's talk about you. I think it's time to bring you on the inside and show you around an advertising network so you can see the products and learn how payments work and all that stuff. So if you're ready for that and you're excited and you're like, man, Gospel, I love what you're saying right now, man, and I'm feeling it in my heart, I'm ready to learn more, type I in the chat. Again, type I in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's really good. Thank you. That's too funny. Great, great, great. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. We're going to run over to an advertising network. All right, so here's an advertising network. This is Free Treasure Chest, okay? This is one of the many advertising networks out there. Do know, candidates, that these companies have been around for a decade, right? And on top of that, they have millions of representatives all around the country working. And on top of that, they pay out millions every single year. Right? From the advertisers to the advertising networks, they pay out millions of dollars to representatives like us. And that's what keeps us at home. That's what gives us that full-time income. So that's really exciting. So I'm going to show you around really quick. So again, here's Free Treasure Chest. I got started with them back in 2011. I was in a situation where I just went through a huge breakup, and all of the bills stayed with me. You know, me and the lady broke up. Me and the woman broke up. She went her way, I went my way, but the bills stayed with me, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And so a good friend of mine, you know, gave me information about one of the advertising networks and says, Gospel, you better take advantage of it, you know, because it's a gold mine. I said, okay, I'm in. I went, and guys, my very first 2 weeks, I was able to pay my rent, which was $2,000 at the time, and I haven't looked back since then. But again, with that said, let me go ahead and just show you around and bring you on the inside. So here's an advertising network. First things first, they're going to ask for email address and password. You must know that whenever you get started, we're going to train you to set up a brand new email account through Gmail. Okay. Again, we're going to train you to set up a brand new email account through Gmail. And the reason for that is because Gmail also comes with Google Voice, which is a phone provider that gives you a local number with voicemail, caller ID, etc. So pretty much you're hitting two birds with one stone by getting the email and the phone, and all that stuff is free. You just have to know how to set it up. It's easy stuff, and we'll show you too, so don't worry about that. Right, so here we are in the back of the advertising network, Free Treasure Chest. Like I said before, we support many of the networks, so the back ends all look very similar, if not the same. Just, you know, the buttons may be in different areas, but it's all the same, okay? Now, the first place that we're going to go is offers, okay, is offers. You have to learn about the product, okay? So get ready, candidates. This is where it gets juicy. So write every single thing that I tell you down. Here we go. So here are the products, okay? I'm going to scroll down, and you'll see the different advertisers that we work with. So let me go ahead and scroll down, and you'll see creditreport.com, right? Free credit report with Score, freecreditscore.com, iConfidential, Protect My ID, eMusic, and we'll just keep on going down, and you'll see Gamefly and GoDaddy, right? And so here are the different advertisers, okay? And like I said before, it's our job to have people come to this website and take home these products. Very simple, okay? Now, there are some points that you want to write down about the product. So we can consider this product training 101, all right? Here's the very first point about the products that you want to write down. Every product that we deal with is a well-known brand. Okay, so creditreport.com, okay, Gamefly, Discover Card. These are brands that everybody is familiar with. So remember that. We only deal with well-known brands. The second point to remember about products is that we only deal with introduction products, intro products. Another term could be trial products. Okay, what does this mean? That means that instead of selling the full-fledged product, for example, let's say creditreport.com, normally creditreport.com is $30 a month, okay? But as you can see here, it only costs $1. Why is that? It's because this is an introduction product, meaning that a consumer or somebody, whoever's taking home this product, can get this product for 7 days for only $1. And then if they want to keep it, they can. But if they don't, then they can cancel. And so that's what I'm trying to explain to you, is that we're only dealing with the introduction products. The third point to remember is your product price range. Whenever you're in sales, if you're in customer service or whatever job requires you to talk over the phone and deal with products, you always want to know the product price range so you see how much work it's going to take. For example, let's say if you were selling cars and that's $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per car, well, it's going to take a little bit more work to get those sales. Now, with the advertising networks, your product price range stays very, very low, and that is between free and $10. Again, that's between free and $10. Okay, so you can see that $1 free, $1, $1, $1, $5 free. Right? So you see what I'm talking about. The product price range is very low, which makes the work very easy. And the last point that you want to write down about the products is the credit value, okay? You see, the credit value means a lot to us as representatives, and I'm going to explain that to you in a moment. But these credits are accredited by the advertising network. Okay, again, they're given to you by the advertising network, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. But do remember, for example, creditreport.com, the credit value is 1 credit. Okay, again, creditreport.com, write that down. The credit value is 1 credit. So you're going to see this later on down the line, but I just want to show you, and give you the points for the products. Now, let's take you inside of one of the products. So here's Credit Report. I'm going to click on it. Okay, now this is one of the products. Okay, so whenever people are calling in, right, we're recommending that they take home these products. And so here's one. Creditreport.com is only $1, like I told you, right? And then here is the normal price, $30 a month. Make sense? Now, as I'm speaking to people over the phone, because I've got my credits and I understand everything about the products, I'm able to do my job more effectively and efficiently. So let me explain to you what I'm talking about. Let's say a caller calls in and I tell them about creditreport.com and they say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take home creditreport.com. They're going to come here and click on Get All 3 Reports Now. Okay, so I'm going to click that. Now, once we get to the page, as you can see over here on the left, there's 4 steps. Okay, so I would be walking that person through. I'll say, go ahead and complete step number 1. They'll go ahead and they'll put their information in. I have them on mute and I'll be waiting for them. And I say, okay, what do you see next? Oh, it's going to ask me for my identity. Okay, that's perfect. Let me know when you get that done. Now, let's take a quick pause. Do know that I'm not collecting any of their personal information. I don't have their credit card information. I don't have their social security number. I don't have anything like that. As representatives, you will not be responsible for taking orders over the phone. Everything is done between the person and the companies. Okay, that's it. You are out of that. So you don't have any liability. So that's really exciting. Now, back on target here, that person will get through step 2, and then they'll get through step 3, and then after that, a pop-up window pops up. Okay, and you would know this because when you earn your credits, you're going to be able to experience this and see this, and so you'll understand what I'm talking about, and it'll just make your job much easier. So that pop-up window comes up, and then at that point, I tell the person, hey, listen, when that pop-up window comes up, it's going to ask you, do you want all 3 scores? It's going to say yes, and it's also going to say no. I want you to click on no. Now, because I said that, whenever the caller clicks on no, they will proceed to see their report and see their score, but they will only be charged the $1. Now, if I was not there and that caller clicked on yes, they would pay the $30 right there up front. So it's always good that you're on the phone with your people as they're coming in so that you can guide them in the right direction. And that right there will pay you in the long run because they'll come back and take home more products. Okay, hopefully that makes sense and you can see the positioning that we have. So it's really good. But that right there is a great example on how the products work and how we would basically guide people through and protect them from, doing any unnecessary things that may charge them extra money. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Here we are back at the advertising network, and we are going to click on home. All right, and we are going to click on the word status. The word status. On your status page, this is what tracks all of your work. So as you're taking calls, every single person, right, that you speak to and they come to this website or to your advertising network because they're talking to you over the phone, it's all tracked. So you can see that. Okay, so you can track your work. All right, so it says total 1,101, right? Total referrals. All right, that's how many people I referred to the network. Okay, very simple. Now, as you can see here, my very first day, 10/17/2011. All right, I helped out a guy. His email address was dude31 or 341388 at Hotmail. So I'm going to call him Mr. Dude. Mr. Dude came and he took home the product Great Shape Today. Great Shape Today is a weight loss product. It's actually a weight loss milkshake by the company Herbalife. It cost him $4 and some change, and I got paid $20. Really excited. All right, now this next person, the same day, Mr. Gomez, L Gomez, what's that, 879 at Gmail. I spoke to him and I recommended Great Shape Today. He took that home for $4 and some change, and I got paid $20. Really exciting. And as you can see, I just kept on going and kept on going, right? Multiple times a day. So hopefully that makes sense and everything's tracked. Now, the next subject that we're going to cover is tax and legal. Okay, taxes and legal. So let's head on over to the irs.gov so that we can go ahead and inform you on everything that you're going to need as far as taxes and legal is concerned. All right, so write this down, candidates. Here we go. Now that you're working from home, you're going to be classified as an independent contractor or an independent representative. And with that, you have a few perks. The very first thing is that no taxes come out of your money. So that's a good thing. Okay, so for example, let's say if you made $1,500 this week, well, $1,500 will be in your pocket, all of it. Okay, so that does not mean that you do not have to pay taxes though. Okay, and so this is how that works. Your very first $600, follow me, candidates, follow me. Your first $600 is completely tax-free. So you don't have to worry about reporting that to the IRS. You're completely fine. Now, everything after $600, so that's 601, 602, 603, and so on, must be reported to the IRS. Now, what's going to happen is when you make your first $600, the advertising network is going to tell you to come to the irs.gov and print out your W-9 form, okay? This is your taxpayer identification information, okay? Very simple stuff. You're going to print this out, and then you're going to fax it back to the advertising network. At that point, everything above $600 is going to be documented and reported to the IRS for tax purposes. Now, when you make your first $600, find a tax professional. Again, when you make your first $600, find a tax professional. It can be Jackson and Hewitt, it can be H&R Block, or any tax company that's in your local area. Find a tax professional and tell them that I'm working from home, I'm an independent, and I need to know how much I should set aside from my pay to honor my tax obligations. When tax season comes up, you're going to receive a 1099 in the mail. Okay, that 1099 is going to have your employer's information, which is the advertising network. It's also going to have your salary, how much you made for the entire year, and all of the important legal and tax information that goes on that form will be present for you. What you want to do is you want to take that 1099 and go to your tax professional, and they will take care of the rest. Very simple. With that said, let's move on back to the advertising network. Let's head on over to support first. The reason why I wanted us to come to support is because I want you to know that if you ever have any issues or questions about the products, about credits, about payment, you want to contact your advertising network, okay? And as you can see here, I've always had questions, right? So from 2011 all the way up to 2013, I'm asking questions, right? And I've been here for 3 years. So again, it's always wise if you have any questions about the products, about the credits, about pay, or whatever it may be, contact your advertising network and they will take care of you. For all training, you know, on scripts and how to take calls and all that stuff, that'll be through your supervisor and through the Affluentry network, and you can contact us and we'll take care of you on that end, okay? But that's pretty much it for support as of right now. Let's go ahead and get to the money. We're going to click on the order button. All right, perfect. Here is the order page. On the order page, it tracks your pay stubs, and also this is where you come to request your payment. Okay, you do this every single night. Click on the order button and you'll be able to request your payment and it'll be sent to you. All right, and it also tracks your pay stub. So as you can see here, my very first day, I made $40. It took less than 24 hours for the deposit, so I was really excited about that. And as time went on, I just got better and better and better. Now, I want you to notice that I'm not getting paid, you know, every week or every month. I'm getting paid every single day, if not multiple times a day. And as time goes on, you get better and better at the script, which your income goes up, up, up. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense, but I just want to show you this so you can get a very visual understanding that what we have is 100% real. Now, what you're looking at is the result of my very first conversation with everybody that I've spoken to over the phone. Okay, so that very first initial conversation is about 10 to 15 minutes, no longer than that. And this is the result of that. Now, remember I told you about the follow-up? Well, there's money in the follow-up, and that's an old business, rule. We all know that. But again, the money's in the follow-up, and so I want to show you what happens whenever you give the extra mile, whenever you go the extra mile and you help people out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up another window here. Hang tight. Great, it loaded up. This is my second site. Okay, my very first site, I got paid $20 per caller, and then I have my second site that gives me the total of, well, for me, it was $80 a caller. Here we are in 2014 and so on, and you guys are getting what? $100 per caller. So things have changed over the years, but again, I just want to log in so you can see the results of being good at following up and actually doing good at customer service. So let's go ahead and log in. All right, and I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to click on status. Okay, here we are, and I'm going to scroll down, and you can see my total amount is $813. Okay, now remember, on my very first site, my very first conversation, I spoke to 1,103 people. Okay, and out of 1,103 people, 813 came back. Okay, so that's 1,000. Let's just round down. 1,000 I spoke to. 800 came back. That's 80% repeat. Okay, somebody coming back, returning, that's 80%. That's very high for any type of sales business. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you, and you can see the numbers now, and it gets real clear. So here, I'm gonna show you what happened. The same day, I spoke to Mr. Dude again, and I spoke to Mr. Gomez. Mr. Dude came and took home Blockbuster DVD. He also took home a $25 gift card from Walmart. Mr. Gomez, he came and took home Blockbuster DVD. He took home eFax. He took home Personal Defense. He also took home James Patterson's library. He also took home Hydroxytone. He also took home A Buck for a Buck, which is a hunting DVD. And lastly, he also took home the $25 gift card for Walmart too. And as you can see, all of these other people took home products, came back and took home more products. So hopefully that makes sense, and you can see what happens whenever you have good customer service skills. So I'm going to go ahead and click on order. And now we can see what happened with the pay stub. So remember on my very first site, you guys saw $40 for the day. You probably laughed at me, but check this out. I followed up with them, right? And I got an additional $66. So my very first day, I did $106. Not too bad, right? Not too shabby. And as time went on, I got better and better and better and better. And so I got really confident, right? And instead of collecting $100 a day, $200 a day, I went up to 1,000, right? And so I can show you this right here. Let me scroll down. It says 702. You see this? 702, right? There's another 300 on the first site. Okay, so you can see that. And I did it again the next week. I did another 780, and there's another 300 on the first site, right? I didn't do it just twice. I did it 3 times at another 702, and then I did it another time for 1/4 try at 722. Okay, very simple stuff, and anybody can do this. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because I know we are all here for different reasons. Some people need some part-time income. Some people need some full-time income. Some people need just a full-blown career that can support the family. So I'm showing you this so you know that whatever the situation may be, right, we can help you get there. Okay, now, when I first got started, I was in a situation where I was broke, and I didn't do too well managing my money. So this next portion is very, very important. This is so that none of you go broke again, okay, candidates? So I'm going to give you the keys to this right now, so write this down. When I first got started, I needed $2,000 to cover my bills, okay? Remember, me and the girl broke up. All of the bills are on my back now, all on me. So I needed to do something and do something fast. So what I did was I took the number 2,000, okay, and I divided it by the number 30. Okay, so I took the number 2,000 and I divided that by the number 30. Now the reason I did that is because now I'm getting paid every single day. And if you have ever experienced getting paid every single day, not only is it exciting and like an adrenaline rush, like all this money is just flying towards you every single day, but you have to learn how to manage it, okay? And it's very important. So I took 2,000, which was the total amount of my bills. I divided it by 30, and I got a number. It was like 66 point something, but I rounded up to $67. So what does this mean? That means that I needed to save $67 a day to take care of my bills. Okay, very simple stuff. Again, I need to save $67 a day to take care of my bills. So now now that I'm going into this with my mindset on how to manage my money, now check this out. So my first day, I took home $106, right? Well, I set aside $67 that day to take care of my bills. The leftover money, I did what I wanted with, and you're going to do the same thing. So that's what I'm going to need from you. I'm going to need for you to write down your total amount that you need to make just for your bills. Okay, let's not add in the fancy car and the fancy house and all that stuff. Just your bills, whatever that total amount is, divide it by 30 so you can get your daily amount. It's very important to get your daily amount. Now, as time went on, like I told you, I got better and better and better and better. My second month, I did 4,000. My first month, I did 2,000, of course. My second month, I went and I doubled that and I did 4,000. And the income's been sky high ever since then. All right. Now, with that said, I know you're excited. I know you're like, man, there's money on the table. I know I can make it. They're working with great brands. The advertising networks have been here for over a decade. They have plenty of representatives and they pay millions every single year out. I want to go ahead and get started. How do I do that? And I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to need from you. Okay, so write this down. Very simple. I'm going to need two things, right? Me personally, I'm going to need two things from you. Number one, I'm going to need some goals. Okay, you cannot start making money for the long haul without any goal set. So your very first goal, this is what your goal is going to be. Your very first goal is to make whatever your bottom line is, whatever your bills require of you. So that's your light, water, gas, your rent, your car note, all of the necessities, right? You're going to add that up and put that on a piece of paper, and you're going to divide that by 30, remember? But that's going to be your first month's goal as well. Okay, so for me, my first month's goal was $2,000. Now, that's going to be your first month's goal. Now, your second month's goal is to double that. So you want to write that down. Is whatever your first month is, double that. That's your second month's goal, and you want to save that. So that's the very first thing that I need from you is to write down those goals and know the daily amount relating to those goals as well. Okay. The second thing that I need from you is I need 2 weeks. That's it. I just need 2 weeks. The very first week is going to be your study week. This is where you learn the products. This is where you learn the script, and you get to meet the rest of the community, okay? And you're going to work during that week as well because you're going to be placing ads, taking calls, reading your script, and helping people. But the majority of your time is going to be learning the script, learning the products, and getting to meet everybody else in the community so you can get acclimated and you can learn how the ropes go, okay? So this is your very first week. Your second week is your money week. This is the week where you focus in and you dial in to all you're going to do is place ads, take calls, read your script, and help people. You're going to take everything that you learned the first week and apply it to that second week, and that's going to be your money week. After those 2 weeks, this is what I need from you now. After those 2 weeks, you're going to submit your 2-week report. Okay, we do 2-week reports here at Affluentry Network. We do them every 2 weeks just to make sure that everybody is doing what they have to do to make the money that they want. Okay, so you're going to submit your 2-week report. Now, on this 2-week report, it's going to have how much money you made within the past 2 weeks, what your income goal is, okay, and you're also going to add some notes in there on what you think you can do better, and also maybe what you think we could supply you to help you do better, okay? So you're going to submit that 2-week report. We're going to review it, and we're going to give you back an assessment. Now, on that assessment, it's going to tell you step by step what you need to do to either hit your goal that you haven't met yet or to go to that next level, to the next income goal that you have. Whatever the case may be, those 2-week reports are very important and must be handed in every single 2 weeks on the nose. Okay, so if you can give me those two things, that's all I need. I need goals. And I need 2 weeks. Your first week is your study week. Your second week is your money week. And I need you to hand in your 2-week report. If you can do those two things, I can give you an opportunity to work from home full-time if that's what you want. Okay, so if that's you and you're ready to rock and roll, I don't care if you want part-time, full-time, or career, we have a fit for you. But if you can give me those 2 weeks, right? And if you can give me those goals, type I in the chat. Again, type I in the chat. Thank you, thank you. Perfect. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolutely. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about training. Let's talk about credits and getting started. Are you ready? All right, let's get back on over to the PowerPoint. Hang tight. Okay, here we are back at the PowerPoint. Let's go back down here and let's talk about credits, okay? Now, one of the most important pieces to working with the advertising networks is honoring their credit system, okay? Now, with their credits, they give credits to us, right, to professionals, and this is basically what it's about. Professionals must be educated on the products, right, and be accredited by the advertising network to begin working, okay? Now, there's 2 credits, right? And if you were paying attention, you probably saw on my first site, I earned my 1 credit, and that's how I was making $20 per caller. And then on my second site, I earned my second credit, right? And now, well, at that time, I was making $80 per caller. You guys are going to be making $100 per caller. Okay, so very simple stuff. Now, once a professional obtains their credits, they are certified to represent the advertisers and work with the advertising network for life. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And let me show this to you just visually so it all comes together. Through the advertising network, remember I showed you creditreport.com and I showed you the credit value. It said 1 credit. What does that mean? That means that to earn your credit, you're going to work with one of the advertisers. Okay, so you can learn the product. Remember, you have to know everything about the products so you can do your job very well. So for example, let's say if I went with creditreport.com for my product training credit, right? How many credits does creditreport.com give me? It gives me 1 credit. So creditreport.com cost me what? $1, and I got my 1 credit and I'm working now. Very simple stuff. Now, let's say I already have creditreport.com. Well, I can't use creditreport.com to earn my credit. I'm going to have to use something else. So let's say I'll use TransUnion, okay? TransUnion, actually, that's actually the product that I used when I first got started. TransUnion is absolutely free, doesn't cost a dime, okay? So again, when it comes to earning your credits, there's going to be a variety and a difference with everybody because with the advertising networks, you cannot earn your credits with products that you already have. They have to be with advertisers that you've never experienced before. That way you can get a very clear understanding on the product so you can do your job better. But again, I just want to explain that to you so you understand that you will be earning your credits, and it's very simple stuff. It's a one-time thing. That's not something that you have to do every week or every month. Now, outside of credits, you're also going to get training and coaching, and that's going to be through Affluentry Network, okay? So you're going to get one-on-one coaching with your supervisor, okay? You're also going to have Affluentry University that provides your video tutorials, your scripts, your emails, your ad templates, your audio recordings, your worksheets, and everything that you need to work from home. Okay, you're also going to have the 24-hour chat room where you can, get there and get in touch with the rest of the community and see what's going on, ask questions, and all that other stuff too. That is available for your leisure. Now, getting started is very simple. A lot of people ask me, hey, Gospel, is this going to cost me money? And I'm going to tell you straight up, the answer is yes. I've never been to a job yet that did not cost me money. When I was working at Best Buy, I was responsible for getting a brand new shirt. I'll never forget. I went to Chick-fil-A to get lunch, and I completely ruined my shirt. And I was like, man, I don't think I'll be able to do something with it. Say, hey, we have some extra shirts, but it's going to cost you $30. Now that can come out of your next paycheck, or you can pay cash. Okay, right? So it's the job world. That's what happens, okay? Now, good thing about working from home is that you're not going to be spending an arm and a leg, okay? All you need to do is get your home office set up and take care of your credits. That's it. So this is what you're going to need to get started. You're going to need 2 notebooks, okay? 2 notebooks. I recommend 5 subject notebooks, okay? Because there's a lot to learn, and you also you're going to be talking to a lot of people. So your very first notebook is your study notebook. That's where you're going to remember your first week. You're going to be studying the script, learning the products, and also getting acclimated with the community. That first notebook is for those reasons, okay? Because we have training calls, conference calls, we have webinars, etc. So your first notebook is for that. Your second notebook is your money notebook. This is where you're going to track every single person that you speak to, okay? So you're going to write down their name, their phone number, their email, and all that stuff, and that'll play a very good role and a good part in you earning more income because now you have your follow-up list, right? You can follow up with everybody, and they'll come back and take home more products, okay? Now, those are the 2 notebooks that you're going to need. Your home office, if you have a printer, then that's great. If you have ink, that's great. If you don't have it and you can afford it, go grab it. If you can't afford it, that's completely fine. Use Kinko's, use your public library, or whatever it may be. You're going to need a computer or laptop with internet connection. For the most part, if you do not have that, make sure that, again, like I said, library, you should be good to go. You can borrow somebody's to use or whatever it may be, but just make sure you have something reliable that you can work with on a daily basis. Also, for your credits, you want to make sure that you have a few bucks for that. Like I told you before, you cannot work with any of the advertisers that you already have a product of. Okay, so if you already have Blockbuster, you can't use them. You might use TransUnion. Okay, if you already have TransUnion, you might have to use creditreport.com, which may cost you $1. So because that varies, I can't tell you a particular amount that you're going to need, but if you contact your supervisor, you guys can go through the list and see, okay, right, here are the products that are available for me to work with, okay, and here are the credit values, and then you can go ahead and assess that way, okay? So very simple stuff. Just make sure that you have some extra little cash set aside for your product training. Also, you want to make sure that you contact your supervisor because you're going to walk you through the registration and the training process, okay? And you're going to be doing the same thing, placing ads, taking calls, reading your script, and helping people. That's it. Make sure that you have a debit or a bank card for your PayPal deposits. That way you can spend immediately. And lastly, use the affluentryconnectioncenter.com for all of your training needs, okay? So if that's it, everybody, that is everything that you need to know as far as getting started. And we've made it to almost the very end of orientation. And we're going to go ahead and take, or should I say, we're going to read some of the most common questions. Then we're going to take your questions, and then we're pretty much going to show you what you need to do to make money in the next 48 hours. And then we're out of here, okay? So if you're excited and you're ready to listen to some of the common questions, and then you're ready to, have your questions answered, type I in the chat. Again, type I in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Perfect, perfect. Okay, let's get on with the questions. All right, so the very first common question is, where do I get my ads and where do I place them? Again, where do I get the ads and where do I place them? That's a very good question, and the answer for that, you're going to get your ads from two sources, from your supervisor and also from Affluentry University. Okay, so we give you the template ads, your supervisor provides ads for you, everything else is just pretty much copy and paste, okay? Now, where do you place these ads? We're going to give you a list of websites to use, okay? Now, on this list, all you do is pretty much just, follow the steps and the ads go up and your phone rings. Now, for some of you may say, well, oh my gosh, on that list, isn't everybody using the list? And the answer is yes, and there's no room for saturation. Remember, I've been doing this for 3 years and nothing slowed down, okay? So again, we give you the list, no worries. Okay, next common question. Does it cost money to place ads on the internet? And the answer for that is yes and no. That's always going to depend on the independent representative. It's going to depend on you. When you're getting started here with the Affluentry Network, we're going to make sure that you don't have to pay anything for posting ads, okay? Now, once you go into that full-time realm, and if you want to kick up the notch, then of course you can place your money in some ads and it'll drive more calls. But again, that's all subject to the person, and both options are available, but going the free route is definitely there, and a lot of people do that, okay? So that is the answer for that question. Next common question. How do taxes work? Taxes are really easy. Remember, your first $600 is completely tax-free. Everything after that is documented and reported to the IRS. You're going to hand in your W-9 when you make $600. At the end of tax season, you're going to get your 1099. Just make sure you get all of that information to your tax professional and they will take care of the rest. Okay, so taxes are very simple to handle. Next common question. Is it better to place ads for the advertisers or for income opportunity? Good question, and the answer to that is it's going to depend on what you want, okay? Now, me personally, I'm just giving it to you real, okay? There's more people looking for income opportunities and ways to support and supply for their family, to securely supply for their family. There's more people looking for that than there are people looking for Netflix, okay? So it depends on what you want, but we highly recommend that you promote the income opportunity. The calls ring off the hook. The people are very easy to talk to. It's nothing hardcore where you have to pressure them or anything like that, because they're looking for work, they're looking for opportunity, and because what we do works all of the time, this is why people see good success, okay? Now, on the other end, just promoting the products, you can do that as well. It's going to take you just a little bit more work, but you should be okay on that angle as well. So again, to answer that question, we recommend the income opportunity, but again, the choice, of course, is always yours, okay? So moving on to the next question. Next common question, how much money do I need to get started? And that answer is going to vary per person, okay? Like I told you before, when it comes to getting set up, I don't know what you have in your house. I don't know if you have notebooks already. I don't know if you have your home office set up. I certainly don't know which products you have or don't have of the advertisers at all, as well. So I don't know this stuff. But what I can recommend is this, okay? If you have $20, set it aside, okay? With that $20, that should be your getting started budget, quote, quote, okay? That's your getting started budget. With that $20, you should be able to get your home office set up and get your credits and get started working, okay? Do not go over the budget. Just set that budget, talk to your supervisor, and they'll make sure to get, everything worked out. Next common question, is there a quota? And the answer for that is no, there is not a quota, but I do recommend that you use your own personal finances as a guide to what that quota should be. Okay, so for example, if you go to the bank account and it's below $100, well, guess what? You need to make a pretty good quota, okay? If you go to the bank and there's $10,000, well, then you can lower your quota and give you a little bit less work, and that's going to vary per person. But there is no quota from the advertising networks, Affluentry Network. We don't put quotas on you, but we do teach and we do train on how to set reasonable goals that will help you go up the financial ladder of success, and you'll do very well. But again, there is no quota in place that you have to meet. You can make as little as $20 and get paid that $20. Very simple. You can make as much as whatever that number is, and you can make that much. Okay? Very good question, and let's move on to the next. Next common question, what are the best times to work? And that's going to vary per person because we are all across the country. We're in, the UK, we're in Canada, and we all live in different time zones. So the best answer for that is you want to work during the busiest times of your time zone, which are going to be 8 to 5, 9 to 6. Now, the good thing about working on the internet is that you can tap into the other time zones, meaning that you could work an extended period of time because you're not subject just to your time zone, if that makes sense, okay? So for example, if I'm on the East Coast, okay, and I want to work a little bit later, maybe I want to work around 10 o'clock, okay? Or maybe I want to work around 9 o'clock at night. Well, I would place my ads on the West Coast where it's 3 hours behind me, right? Because on the West Coast, it's still peak hours of the day for them. So whenever I go ahead and I place my ad on the West Coast, right, the calls come in on the East Coast, and vice versa. If I want to work really early on the West Coast, like let's say 7 o'clock in the morning, I'll wake up early and I'll place my ads on the East Coast because they're 3 hours ahead of me. Okay, and so with that, I can manage my schedule and I can work just about whatever hour of the day that I really want. Okay, so those are the best times to work, again, during your normal business hours. And if you need extended time, that's completely fine. Just place your ads in the different time zones. Okay, good question. Let's move on to the next. All right, next common question. Can I work part-time and then move into full-time? And the answer for that is absolutely yes. That's what the majority of people do anyway. They come in part-time to get their feet wet. Once they see they make money and they have to hand in their W-9, then they say, man, I'm going to go ahead and go full-time because of the flexibility and the security that comes with it. So again, you can do part-time, full-time, as needed, and you'll be fine. Okay, so again, yes, part-time, full-time. Even if you want to go career-wise, you can make a career out of this opportunity. Absolutely. I've been doing this for 3 years, guys, so I'm living proof. Good question. Let's move on to the next. Next common question, is there a background check? And the answer for that is no. There's not a background check. Everybody works online. To follow up with that, there aren't any type of requirements that you must have. Like, you don't need a certain degree. You don't have to be from a certain, background. You don't have to be a certain religion or anything like that. If you haven't noticed, guys, I'm Christian. I believe in Christ. But we have people from all different types of backgrounds. We have Buddhists. We have Muslim. We have Jewish. everybody from all different types of backgrounds work here at Affluentry Network. So, of course, there's not a problem with that. We have people that are disabled, that are blind. We have people that can't hear, who are deaf, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, again, the opportunity is open for any and everybody. As long as you come, very professional, you come with your goals in mind, and you're ready to work, you'll be A-okay. Okay, so don't worry about the whole background thing or anything like that. Next common question. And our last common question is, how fast can I make money? And that's a good question, and the answer for that is you can make money as fast as today. T-O-D-A-Y, okay? Technically speaking, you can make money today, but what I recommend is that you give us the 2 weeks, okay? Make some money your first week, but let that be the study time that you learn everything first, and then that second week, let that be your money week, okay? Now, I understand the bills are calling your name, and you got to take care of your responsibilities, but if you just go ahead and have some patience on that and give us the 2 weeks, you'll be way more better in the long run, okay? So can you make money today? Absolutely. Yes. Your supervisor's got your back, so they're going to walk you through that if you need to do that immediately. But if you follow the program and you go with the 2 weeks, it'll just take you much further, okay, and less frustration. So can you make money and how fast? You can make money today, and, we just recommend that you give us the 2 weeks. All right, good question. And we're going to move on to your questions now. And I'm pretty sure you're really excited and you have more questions on your piece of paper. And if you have some questions and you're ready to ask them, type I in the chat. Again, type I in the chat. Okay, we got a couple of people. Okay, perfect. So we're going to take some of these questions really fast, put those in the chat, and we're going to go ahead and take care of them now. Let me go ahead and read one of them. Hang tight. First question says, my Google Voice doesn't ring through. Do you know how to fix that issue? And the answer for that is absolutely yes. It's just that we're going to need to sit down on a personal basis to really look at the situation. What I would recommend is that you call your supervisor. They'll be able to walk you through that. But then also get to the Affluentry Connection Center and go to the chat, because there are hundreds of people there all the time willing to help you. Also, if you need to contact support, contact Ethan Hunt. Okay, again, Ethan, E-T-H-A-N, Ethan Hunt, and he'll be able to get that problem addressed. So thank you so much for that question. Next question. Can I work with my husband as a team? The answer for that is absolutely yes. We have people from all different backgrounds, and they work in teams, husband and wives, mom and son, life partners, significant others, boyfriend, girlfriends, et cetera, et cetera. People always like to group up and work with teams, and that's A-okay. But do know, with the advertising networks, they do not allow multiple accounts being created in the same household. So if you and your spouse want to work together, I recommend that you just use one account, okay, and your supervisor will walk you through this, okay? So you just use one account, and when the money comes in, all you do is just divvy it up, just personally. Hey, here's your cut, here's my cut, and that's it. If you must have, your separate accounts, then, one person's going to have to do it from home, and then the other person's going to have to get registered and go through training from another location. But again, talk to your supervisor about that. They'll be able to get you situated, okay? Good question. Let's move on to the next. I'm not a people person. Do I have to place income opportunity ads? And the answer for that is it's going to be completely up to you. But what I want to reassure you is that with the scripts, you don't have to worry about being a people person, because with the script, you're basically just asking questions and giving answers. So it's very simple stuff. Contact your supervisor, let them walk you through that portion so you can see that. But once you have that script, there's no need to be a people person, okay? But if you are a people's person, well then of course, it's a plus, but if you're not, that's fine, that's not your fault. The script is there to help you with that, okay? So not a problem. Let's move on to the next question. What if you don't have PayPal to set up deposits? And the answer to that is very simple. We're going to help you set that up. That's not a problem. You're going to learn that in training. Your supervisor is going to be helping you with that step by step. So getting that PayPal set up is really simple. It's not really techie or anything like that either. But we're going to help you get that squared away. Not a problem. Next question. Can I do this job 7 days a week? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. You can work this 7 days a week if you want to. Just want to make sure that you understand that you're going to have to place your ads in different time zones, okay? Because the best times to work are Monday through Friday, okay? During the weekend, things slow down just a little bit, but when you're placing your ads in different time zones, it keeps the calls flowing, okay? Keeps the call flowing around the clock. And because you're using your Google Voice, everything's going to that phone number. So you don't have to worry about the wife or the husband or the significant other, getting upset because calls are coming in, at all times of the day. Just make sure it goes to that business line, to your Google Voice line, and you should be A-okay. But yeah, so that's your answer. Next question, when do I go about getting my new email address through Gmail? Okay, through Gmail. The answer for that is when you contact your supervisor, they're going to walk you through that. But during your first week, right, your study week, when you're learning everything, your script, your products, getting acclimated with the system and meeting everybody else, you're going to be getting that set up around that time, okay, if not earlier. But contact your supervisor. They're going to walk you through those steps. Not a problem. Good question. Let's move on to the next. All right, how do I go about getting accredited by the advertising networks so that I can start working? You want to just get back in touch with your supervisor. They're going to walk you through that stuff step by step. Also, if you need any help or assistance along the way, or if you have any questions or anything like that, just make sure to go to, of course, affluentryconnectioncenter.com. The chat is open. You can ask questions in there as well. But contact your supervisor. They will take care of the rest. Okay, good question. And this is the last question, everybody, okay? All right, so here it is. I have a full-time job, and I want to know if I can work this in between my schedule. What are the training hours? What are the training hours? That's a very good question. Our training hours, very simple. Every single Monday, every single Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have our Affluentry training call. So you want to make sure that you make that. Ask your supervisor. They'll let you know. And then Wednesday mornings, we have our Hour of Power. Okay, those training calls are really good as well. So we have those Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Pacific, and then we have it on Monday evenings at 6 p.m. Pacific, which of course is 9 p.m. Eastern. And then for the morning call, it's 9 a.m. Pacific, and that's 12 noon Eastern. Okay, so those are the training schedules. Everything else is flexible because you can just watch the videos and and look at your PowerPoints and all that stuff on your own leisure. But that's pretty much it as far as the training and coaching is concerned. And then you can work it around your schedule with your supervisor because they're flexible as well. So trust me, if you have something already going on, a full-time job or whatever it may be, you can fit this in. That's not a problem. All right, so that is our last question. I think it's time to show you what you need to do to get started and get working ASAP. So if you're ready for that, type I in the chat. Come on, type I. I know you want more questions answered, but type I in the chat. We have to save time, okay? All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Now, getting paid in the next 48 hours, okay? Getting paid in the next 48 hours is very simple. Like I told you before, give us the 2 weeks, okay? Give us the 2 weeks, but this is how you can do it and do it fast. So you're going to place ads on the internet. We do that every single day like clockwork. Place ads. You take phone calls. You're going to get between 20 to 50 calls a day, okay? You're going to read a script. The script is very laid back. It's very consultative. Remember, you're helping people work from home, okay? Very simple stuff. So read your script. And then lastly, you're going to help callers take home the products over the phone. That's it, okay? So you want to make sure you follow these steps. And if you do, okay, and you follow that up with our daily plan, and our daily plan is called the 5-in-1 plan, meaning you want to help 5 people take home one of the products every day, okay? When you help 5 people take home one of the products every day, right? So that's 5 on the 20, so that's $100. And you already know we convert very high when it comes to repeat. So what happens, right? Over, 70% of people come back. So out of those 5, right, you're going to have 3-4 people come back, right? So if you do that every single day, 5-in-1, every single day, you should put $1,000 in your pocket every single week. Okay, and that's what we stand by. So again, these are the steps. Place your ads, take calls, read your script, help the callers take home the products. Very simple stuff. Follow the 5-in-1 plan, and you should be A-okay. Now, your next steps, contact your supervisor. Also, make sure that you try to attend a national registration with our CMO, Robert Travis, and also try to attend the national training with Ashton Sanders, our COO. Now, if you're not able to attend those because of the timing and the schedule, that is completely fine. Your supervisor will be able to do that with you step by step, and you guys can work around, of course, the scheduling and the arrangements for that. Also, make sure that you follow us. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. right? Should not be the last time that you see or hear about Affluentry, right? Because we are here to say, and we are making a difference in the lives from all around the world. So with that said, everybody, this is the Affluentry Network, right? We're helping people work from home. Now, by this time, if you're still a little nervous and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, if I can do this, let's just put everything on the table. Right now, in the world and the way it is, there's not that many options, just to be honest with you, when it comes to generating a secure income, okay? In this day and age, you need multiple streams of income. Let me say that one more time. The day and age of getting away with just a job is over, okay? You need multiple streams of income. And so, of course, with the Affluentry Network and working with the advertising networks, you have a very secure income, but also it should add to what you already have as well, okay? So again, you want to make sure that you're equipped to be secure out here as you're working, as you're learning, as you're living, okay? So just think about that, and do know that I'm asking you for 2 weeks. That's it. If you give me the 2 weeks, after that, you can make your final decision on what you want to do next. But if you give me the 2 weeks, give it a fair shot, see what happens to you, then you can say to yourself, okay, I see what was going on, and gospel wasn't, giving me the ring around, right? So with that said, welcome aboard, welcome to the family. Call your supervisor back immediately because the money's on the table, and we're here to train and coach you and make sure that you're taken care of, okay? So with that said, this has been Gospel Jackson with the Affluentry Network and the National Orientation. Thank you so much for coming out. God bless. I love you in spirit, and get back to your supervisors right now. Have a good one, everybody. Talk to you later.